Dear Litvinova medical patients, today I'm going to talk about a very important topic that many of you have been asking me. Unfortunately, during the past year and a half or so, many of you have gained weight because of the pandemic, not being active, using food to relieve stress, various reasons. And it is important to try to return to the ideal body weight. And today I'm going to talk about some points, some practical points that you can use to try to slowly lose that extra weight little by little with a natural approach. First of all, stress is a very potent inducer of weight gain. First of all, stress can cause elevation of cortisol, and cortisol can cause fluid retention and also causes weight gain. Also, when a person is under stress, many use food to do a quick fix for that stress, because food gives comfort, and because in the gastrointestinal tract and the stomach there are many nerve receptors that when stimulated gives you a sense of calm by releasing serotonin. That's why food and eating is a very convenient and quick way to fight stress, but it only lasts for a short period of time, and in the long run it becomes counterproductive. Also, the sense of hunger. When a person feels hunger, it may be not necessarily that the body needs food. Frequently, a person's sense of hunger can be confused with a sense of thirst. And a person may actually, the person's body may need water, but the body gives signals that they need food, because food gives more gratification than water. And what I suggest, if you feel hungry in the middle of the day, when it's not your usual time to eat, you can try to take this simple test. You can drink a full glass of room temperature water. And more often than not, waiting for 5 or 10 minutes, you may notice that you're not as hungry anymore, because that sense that you had feeling hungry, it was actually your body's asking for water. That's why I suggest, when you feel hungry, before going and making yourself a sandwich or taking a cookie or chips or anything like that, when it's between meals, try to drink a full glass of room temperature water and waiting for 5 minutes. You may be surprised. Another way that a person may feel hungry and desire for food, not necessarily because the body needs food at that time, but it may be out of sense of boredom. Because food gives you, as I mentioned, instant gratification, and it's very easy to fight boredom. But it's not a productive way to do so. And you may choose something that interests you, maybe doing some stretching or dancing, painting, singing, playing a game, something to try to distract yourself when you feel hungry. Maybe you can just decide to do a little drawing or painting. And you may notice that if you feel hungry and you start entertaining your mind with something other than food, you may notice in 10 or 15 minutes the hunger is gone. And then you realize that the feeling that you had, desire for food, wasn't really because of hunger, but because of your body needed some entertainment or some out of boredom. These 2 points I wanted to bring up just to keep in mind, because it may not work all the time, but will work more often than not. When a person is trying to lose weight, the way you eat, I don't want to call it a diet, but really the way of eating is about 80%. And then 15-20% is the exercise. And exercise is really important, not to gain back the weight that you just lost. So So when a person is trying to lose weight, diet is way more important. And there is a saying that no amount of exercise can overcome an adequate diet. Essentially, even if you exercise, you put lots of aerobic exercise, stretching, yoga, if you don't change the way you eat, it'll be very difficult to lose weight. In terms of the diet, also food and water intake, I want to tell you a few words about drinking water. It is important to drink water, and it is important to drink water the right way so your body stays hydrated. I suggest that the first thing in the morning when you wake up, drink 1 or 2 cups of room temperature water. And then generally you want to drink a cup of water every hour or so. Then it will ensure that you stay well hydrated and your body doesn't confuse the sense of thirst with the sense of hunger. I also suggest you drink a cup of room temperature water 20 to 30 minutes before a meal. That will subdue the sense of hunger, and you may notice it'll be easier for you to do portion control, because that's what I will mention next. In terms of the way of eating, there are 2 important things. First is reducing carb intake, and the second is portion control. Why do you want to reduce carbs when you're trying to lose weight? Because carbs, most carbs, especially simple carbs, sugar, white flour, cookies, bread, they increase inflammation in the body. And when there is inflammation through the hormone of leptin, appetite increases. You may notice if you reduce carb intake in your daily way of eating, you may notice that you don't really need that much food. You may notice you're less hungry, and you may notice that the amount of food you're eating is much less. That's because carbs, they stimulate your appetite. And carbs that I'm talking about is mostly grains. There are carbs in vegetables and fruits. Those carbs, in moderation, they're good. It's really, you want to cut down on simple carbs, especially simple grains and processed foods and sugar. It may be a little difficult to do it for the first week, because carbs, especially like bread, pasta, rice, it is addictive, and you may have quite strong cravings for those foods. But if you pull through the first week by reducing carb intake in your daily menu, you will notice on the second week you don't crave carbs that much. And then you try to eat more vegetables, fruits, lentils, legumes. They're also good in moderation. In the vegetarian diet or vegan diet, you can take protein from mushrooms, nuts, seeds, or lean meats, eggs, and really try to do a plant-based diet with the reduced carbs. And the second recommendation, as I mentioned, is the portion control. Because even if you eat everything right, but eating large portions increases the amount of calories, even though not all calories are created equal, but still you need to decrease the amount of calories through portion control. And the way to do it, I suggest, first of all, as I mentioned, drinking water before your meal, 20 minutes before you eat something. And you can also try to get a smaller plate for your lunch, for your dinner. And again, for the first week, you may notice that your body feels like having a second. But if you really try to pull through the first week, and I will also give you some suggestions with supplements, you will notice it will get much easier, and your body will get used to smaller portions after about a week. But cutting down on grains, simple carbs, and portion control, those are 2 main points in trying to lose extra weight. I did mention exercise, and exercise is important. So with the diet and drinking enough water, the weight that you lose should stay off. And generally, if you do 15 to 20 minutes of aerobic exercise most days of the week, unless your medical condition recommend that you do daily exercise, that should be adequate. And there are two criteria to good exercise: working up some sweat, and your heart rate with a good adequate exercise should be 180 minus your age. If you work up sweat, your heart rate increases, that's a good exercise. Exercise not only good to burn calories and lose weight, it also manages high cholesterol levels, and it's really a great way to balance stress. Those are really first very simple steps to returning to a healthy weight and losing extra weight. And I do suggest doing it for 2 or 3 months and see how it's going for you. If you have any questions, you can contact me and we'll take it to the next step. And as I mentioned, I want to attract your attention to a couple of supplements. Probiotics have multiple benefits, but probiotics are also important if you're trying to lose weight. And I do suggest taking it twice a day. Probiotics improve digestion. They maximize nutrient absorption, so your body sees more benefits from what you've just eaten, and that can affect the sense of hunger. And probiotics should be taken with food, because those good bacteria, they need prebiotics, which is fiber. They need something to attach to. And other two supplements that I want to mention, they are Ayurvedic supplements. And ashwagandha is one of them. And many of my patients have benefited from ashwagandha. Ashwagandha has multiple benefits. It balances adrenals and helps with the healthy cortisol levels. That's one way. It helps to lose weight. Also gives you energy. And when you don't feel tired or unwell, you don't look for food as a solution to that. So ashwagandha will give you a good sense of energy, will balance cortisol level, will also, when you take it one in the morning, one at night, it will support healthy sleep. And another supplement is called moringa. Moringa is an herb, and it was called superfood, I believe, in 2017 or 2018 in the New York Times. And also moringa has multiple benefits. But for our purposes, I just want to mention a few. One, it's good for digestion and maximal nutrient absorption from whatever you're eating. And it's the same benefit that your body will see more nutrients, more vitamins from a meal, from vegetables, plant-based diet, so you don't feel as hungry during the day. Moringa also helps balance blood sugar, because when the blood sugar is high, insulin is secreted to balance the increased sugar, and insulin makes people hungry. So when you take moringa, your blood sugar level is balanced, and that's one of the natural Ayurvedic supplements to help manage weight. So these three supplements, probiotics, ashwagandha, and moringa, should be taken twice a day. And I do want to mention essential oils. Essential oils have multiple benefits. There are many different essential oils. The one that is very beneficial to control cravings, improve metabolism, and for healthy digestion, grapefruit essential oil. And you can use it different ways. You can add a couple of drops. If the essential oil that you're using is good for internal use, you can use a couple of drops into your water. You can just inhale it, because it will get you will get the benefits through the olfactory, through your sense of smell to the brain, and it will cut the cravings and subdue the appetite. You can also apply it to the wrists. You can apply it to the bottom of your feet. You can also rub a little bit mixed with coconut oil on the area of your stomach. And grapefruit oil is considered the most beneficial for cravings and assisting weight loss. There are other essential oils that are as beneficial and can be used with grapefruit oil, such as cinnamon, ginger oil, peppermint oil, another citrus lemon oil. But you can just start with the grapefruit oil. I particularly like the company Dietary, and they have a combination essential oil called Slim and Sassy, and it has grapefruit oil, lemon oil, cinnamon, ginger, peppermint in one container, so you can get the benefit of that. But even keeping it simple, just using the grapefruit oil that you can get anywhere, and using it throughout the day. If you feel hungry, adding it into your water, just applying to your wrist and taking a sniff here and there will also help you, along with other life hacks that I mentioned, to keep a healthy weight. And one more thing I'd like to mention is that you really don't want to lose too much weight too quickly. The optimal amount of weight loss is 1 or 2 pounds a week, because when you do it gradually, naturally, that the weight you lose will stay off. It's been shown that if a person loses too much weight in a short period of time, it's more likely to come back. But we really want to do it slowly, so the weight keeps off and for a long time, not just a short time solution. With this video, I will include my recommendations of the supplements that I mentioned in the package that you can take advantage of. If you have any questions, please contact me through the patient portal, or you can post your question underneath the video. And as I mentioned, those are first steps in your journey to a healthy weight. And as long as you continue losing 1 or 2 pounds a week, continue with these recommendations. If you notice your weight has plateaued, I do suggest contact me, because there are other steps that can be taken, but those I would recommend more on an individual basis after looking at the diet. And I wish you best of luck. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.